Yo, what's up, Broncos country? How's it going tonight, guys? So, me and Mohamed are back this week, and this week we're going to go over our week one predictions for the entire NFL. Next week, we got a special treat for you guys that we're really excited about. The next video we're going to do, we're going to talk about NFL teams expansion. See, talk about what teams we think or what cities we think can get NFL teams in the next like 10 years or so. So we'll get to that next week. But this week, week one predictions. Mohammed, are you ready, man? Because I'm excited. I can't wait to get through this tonight.
Oh, I'm ready, Eddie. Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So, first game of the season. Of course, everybody already knows what this game is. I'm sure it's a very anticipated, much awaited game. The Super Bowl rematch. The New England Patriots go to Seattle to play the Seahawks. Mohammed, what are your thoughts on this, and who do you think comes out on top on this?
Um, I really don't trust the Patriots, Eddie. I don't trust their quarterback. Um, I don't think he's elite. That's just my opinion. People might disagree with me. However, the Seahawks did lose some players. Obviously, when you win the Super Bowl, you're gonna lose some players, right? So, I don't know, Eddie. I honestly feel like at the end of the day, I feel like the Seahawks gonna win the game. As far as the score, um, I would say 27-20 Seahawks.
Yeah, man, I got a lot to say, Man, this stream's gonna go for a while tonight because I got a lot to say about this stuff. Um, First off, let's start with the New England Patriots. Now, damn, Mohammed, you went harsh on them, dude. Holy crap!
I, I I believe that, Eddie. I don't think he's elite. I'm sorry. I just don't.
I'm not going to sit here and say that you're wrong or that I 100% disagree with you, but I think Drake May is a franchise guy. I think he can be that dude. Like, yeah, last year he made it to the playoffs, but it is true. Like, I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, and they think that it's just a cop out, I guess you could say, that the Patriots had like one of the easiest schedules last year, and it's true. Like, when you're a young quarterback, like we know Drake May played about half the season in his actual rookie year, but when you have an easy schedule like that, like I think it was like bottom of the tier schedule. It's going to be easy to win games. You're facing backup quarterbacks. You're facing bad teams. All this, that, and the other. And I mean, nothing. Not to take nothing away from Drake May and the Patriots. Whatever they made the Super Bowl, they made the Super Bowl. Um, I mean, they even made the playoffs last year. I don't even think anybody had them. I don't even think anybody had them even making the playoffs last year. Honestly, like whenever people were going through their rankings and who they think they were going to make the playoffs, who they thought they were going to win their divisions. I mean, nobody picked the Broncos to win for us to win our division. Nobody picked the Patriots to win their division. It was everybody had the Bills and another division, the Steelers. Like no one expected them to win the freaking division last year.
Nope.
They thought Baltimore would win that, or even Cincinnati. So but props to them. But you're right. I don't trust Drake May. I need to see another season, a full season of him going through a little bit of a harder schedule this year. You know, um, if he does that, then I can trust him. But I don't know, man. Like this whole thing with Mike Vrabel going on too. Like, I mean, he's not going to get fired. I don't think because if he was, I think he would have been let go by now. If it was that bad, I don't think most teams don't care. Like unless you're hurting somebody or whatever. Like most NFL teams don't care what you do with your personal life as long as you're not breaking the law or hurting somebody.
I think he
So
took him to the Super Bowl too, Eddie. So they really thought that.
yeah, so Mike Vrabel ain't going nowhere. But you got to wonder how much is that going to affect the Patriots during the season? How much is that going to affect them? You know, every single time Mike Vrabel gets up in front of a microphone before or after a game or whatever, those questions are going to come flying in. You're gonna probably get half about the game, and the other half's gonna be like, "Well, did you actually do anything with Diana Rossini, whatever? What have you heard? You know, and how much is that going to affect him personally and this team? Drake May, like I said, I need to see another step. I want to see him take another step this year before I can say I can fully trust him. Um, the defense ain't bad. They went out and got AJ Brown this year, which is pretty cool. But honestly, AJ Brown's kind of a drama queen. I mean, I'm not saying he's not a good wide receiver because he is. When he's on point and you're feeding, like that's the other thing too. Like I feel like the Patriots are gonna probably force feed uh, AJ Brown a lot this first game because AJ Brown. If he doesn't get his targets, he acts like a gigantic baby. So we'll see how that plays out. So that's what I think about the Patriots. On the Seahawks side, I don't know if you guys heard this, but this news just broke not even an hour ago that the Seahawks have just been sold. Um, I
I didn't hear
think
about that.
owner. This is where it kicks in funny, Mohamed. This is where it really gets funny. If I read this right, a partial owner of the San Francisco 49ers bought the Seattle Seahawks today for
Interesting.
$9.6 billion.
God, that's a lot of money.
So they just got sold today. So I don't know how that's going to affect the Seahawks season this year. I would hope not at all, maybe. I don't know. But with that in mind, you also lost your Super Bowl MVP in Kenneth Walker. I think you lost a couple of pass rushers, and you lost one of your, I think, Tariq Woolen, a corner. I want to say they lost a safety too, if I remember correct. I'm not sure. But the Seahawks have lost a lot of pieces this offseason. So with all that together, I just don't know how the Seahawks are going to look. Like I said, they just got sold today. They're under new ownership. Hopefully, this owner, I mean, partial owner of the San Francisco 49ers, I don't think much is going to change. It'll still be a well-run organization, but you know how sometimes a new owner comes in, like a David Tepper, and they come in and they have their nose in everything and they screw up the whole franchise. Hopefully, this person that bought the Seahawks doesn't do that. Come in, start putting their nose in, and starts ruining everything. I don't think that's going to happen. But we don't know. With that, and like I said, all the stuff, this game is going to be really, really close in my opinion. Like really freaking close. But the fact that it's in Seattle, of course, it's the first game of the year. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stick with the Seahawks on this one. Like I feel like they have a better roster. They still have, honestly, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the game right now in Jason Smith and Jigba. So I'm gonna go with them. They drafted, a running back in the first round. I'm going to
Yeah.
go with the Seahawks on this one. I'm going to say I'm going to go 24-21 Seattle. They kick a field goal, maybe not at the end, but they're up by 3 by the end of the game, and I think the Seattle defense just gets a stop on Drake May, maybe. So, but the
Hey,
next game
Eddie.
up, what's up?
Sorry. Before you go to the next game, I just wanted to just clarify something. As far as Drake May, the talent is there. He's smart and all that. My thing with him is heart. So if the game is on the line with Bo Nix, you're like, hey, Bo Nix is gonna go get us enough points to win the game. I don't trust Drake May on situations like that. That's what I meant.
You you don't think he has the clutch factor,
Yeah,
is
he
what you're saying?
doesn't. He does. I don't think he has heart. He just, I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I'm not going to go that far, but he does need to prove it. Like if he can prove it this year, then I'll believe in him. But if not, then I'm not going to sit there and go that far. Like even after Bo Nix's rookie season, where he played the full season, I was like, yeah, Bo Nix is good. He got us to the playoffs. That's cool. But can he do it again? Is he going to have that sophomore slump? And Bo Nix went out there last year and got the Broncos the 1 seed, won the division, got the 1 seed. And if it didn't get hurt, I said before, I think they win the Super Bowl. So we saw Bo Nix in year 2, basically. We saw the clutch gene in Bo Nix in year 2. We didn't see it much in year 1. It was more
Mhm.
of a developmental year, like, oh, crap, Bo Nix can make these throws. Bo Nix can do this. He can do that. But can he come up big in the clutch moments? He did it so many times last year. It was
I'm saying.
ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I agree with that. We need to see that clutch factor in Drake May. Um, Next game up. This game is in Melborough, something like that. It's a Friday night game, by the way. San Francisco 49ers. This is a Rams home game, by the way, at the Rams. Mohammed, what are your thoughts and scores on this game?
That's gonna be a tough one, Eddie. I mean, we all know what the Rams did this offseason, right? Good
Mhm.
lord. So they playing 49ers. They're playing. You said, oh, okay. So and the 49ers are the 49ers. I don't really trust their quarterback like that, Eddie. I think it's the system, and just tells you about how Shanahan is good, right? You give him any quarterback, and honestly, he'll do magic, right? Um, I think it's gonna be closer than people think. It's week one. All the players, it's fresh. This is like rust and all that. So I still think the Rams gonna win, but probably gonna be a closer game than most people think. I say Rams win it 27-24.
San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams in a different country, mind you. This ain't in Los Angeles. God dang, man. What can I say? I will say this. Kyle Shanahan can literally win with anything. I mean, last year more than half the team was injured, and I think even like the year before, a couple years ago, the team was injured, and Kyle Shanahan was still winning. It's like Jesus Christ, can this guy do any wrong?
Yes, it's good.
Um,
Yeah.
but as far as like the quarterback, yeah, I completely agree with you. Like I trust, of course, Matthew Stafford more than I trust Brock Purdy. Um, but with that said, the 49ers are getting a lot of their players back. Like a lot of them were on injury. I think Nick Bosa was on injury. I think Fred Warner was injured last
Mhm,
year.
yeah,
Surprisingly, I think Christian McCaffrey stayed healthy all last year.
it is.
Um, Trent Williams coming back. You still got George Kittle. Uh, so I mean, the 49ers are coming back healthy now. I don't know, man. Like the 49ers, I think they're going to come back, and if they got all their starters and they're good to go by week one and they're healthy, a lot of upsets happen in week one. I mean, last year the Patriots who went to the Super Bowl last year, guess who beat them earlier in the year? I think it was week one actually. Guess who beat them earlier in the year?
I
The
don't remember.
Raiders.
What?
The
Oh,
Raiders
okay.
beat them like week one or week two last year. So upsets happen a lot in the first week. Like the teams you think, oh dang, these teams ain't gonna lose. They're better than this team. The worst team always somehow gets the win sometimes. So but with all the healthy people coming back, it's crazy. I don't know, man. The 49ers, dude, like I think they're going to be good this year. If they stay healthy, they're going to be good. Kind of like the Detroit Lions. Now on the Rams side, Clayton's in here. Hey, Clayton. He says, hey,
What's
guys,
up,
what's
Clay?
up, man? He's Clayton again. He says, smash that like button and share, guys. Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate you,
guys.
Clayton. Now with the Rams, everybody knows the biggest move that's happened this entire offseason was, of course, the Rams trading for Miles Garrett. We know this. But let's not also forget they brought in Jalen Watson, corner from the Kansas City Chiefs. They signed him out of free agency. They traded for Chiefs top corner Trent McDuffie. So the Rams really went all out this year on defense and free agency anyway. So they still got Puka Nakua. They still got the MVP of the league. They still have a good offensive line. They got a good tandem in the backfield. You know, just they got all these pieces, man. They went out and the Rams went all in this year. Like they're going all in. They're wanting to win the Super Bowl, and I'm not saying that this is a signal, but to me, this might say that maybe this is Matthew Stafford's last year. Maybe not. I don't know. I think Matt's just going to see how his body feels at the end of the year. Regardless if they win the Super Bowl or not, just see how it feels. But if they win the Super Bowl, I think Matthew Stafford would be comfortable. Would be like, hey, we won. I'm done. I'm going to hang him up. Goodbye. Thanks, Rams. Thanks, everybody. Whatever. So, but with all that said, right now, I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers to get the upset. I just have a feeling that if Kyle Shanahan gets Nick Bosa, he gets all Fred Warner, he gets all these players back from injury with Christian McCaffrey out there, George Kittle, the offensive line. I mean, I know they got the situation with Brandon Ayuk right now, but he's probably going to get cut before the season even starts. Um, I'm gonna go with this. Like I'll probably have more. I'm sure I'll have to look at the rest of the games, but I'm going right here with my first upset. I think the 49ers upset the Rams week one. And if I had to pick the score, it's going to be close, of course. But I think it's going to be very low scoring. I'm going to go 14-17 49ers.
Okay.
So next up, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Detroit Lions. Mohamed, what are your thoughts and what is your score prediction on this game?
Okay. It's gonna be a tough one, Eddie. I mean, I know I was very impressed with what the Saints did last season. No, no, they sort of came out of nowhere. I guess they got the quarterback. The Lions, definitely, I was disappointed with the Lions. I guess they were really good, but for some reason, I guess the injuries got to them, and um, towards the end, they just kind of fell off. But it's probably gonna be a close game, Eddie. But I think I'm picking. I'll pick the Saints on this one.
Ooh.
Um, I don't know why, but I think it's gonna be an upset. Um, what's the score gonna be? I'll say 23-20 Saints.
Wow, one score games here, man. A lot of 3-point games so far. Um, Saints at Lions. Well, the Saints, I don't think they really lost anybody this offseason. Nobody of significant value. Oh wait, didn't one of their linebackers retire this offseason? Like
Was
Demario
it?
Davis or something? Didn't one of their linebackers retire this year? Graham, let us know in the comments. I'm not sure, but I think one of their linebackers might have retired. Um, they still got Tyler Shuck, who actually played relatively well last year in his rookie year. I was surprised.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Kellen Moore, he's a solid head coach. Like we'll see what he can do this year with the Saints. Like if he can get the Saints to win more games this year, like he could. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I think he could be a franchise coach. Shuck could be a franchise guy. I think in September, I think Shuck turns 27, if I remember correctly. So he's kind of an older, sophomore quarterback. So um, I mean, like I said, I don't know if they really lost a lot outside of maybe a linebacker. But like I said, Graham, if you could let us know in the comments, please. Uh, then the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, I think last year went 8-9 or 9-8, one of those two. They lost their division. Of course, the Bears won that division. I think the Packers came in second. Lions came in third. Or no, I think the Lions came in last year. The Vikings came in third. Holy crap! With JJ McCarthy. Uh, anyway, the Lions, yeah, they had a lot of injuries last year. That's a reason. Can't see anything about a Saints linebacker retiring. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's a different team. I'm thinking. Oh, maybe
I
it's
think
the Bucks. Maybe it's the Buccaneers. I'm thinking of. Um, but with that said, I don't think the Saints lost of anybody of significant value. The Detroit Lions should be getting a lot of their players back from injury. Last year, it was. I think the main struggle for the Lions was the fact that they lost what's his name, Ben Johnson, to the Bears head coaching job. On offense, at least, that I mean, Aaron Glenn, yeah, okay. Levante David retired from the Bucks. That's who it was. Um, I don't know why I get those teams confused all the time. I guess I'm just football illiterate sometimes. Um, anyway, they lost, Aaron Glenn to the New York Jets, and they lost, Ben Johnson to the Chicago Bears. And the offense kind of struggled at times last year. So did the defense, honestly, but I think that was more due to injuries. Um, but with all that said, man, it's in Detroit. The Lions, they really didn't lose anybody, so I'm going to go ahead and go with the Lions get the win here, and I think they actually handle the Saints pretty well. Week one, first game of the season, I think the Detroit Lions win 24-13. I got to see more from Shuck and Kellen Moore, and honestly, I just don't know what their defense is going to be able to shut down Jared Goff in this offense. So
But
that's my
Eddie,
pick.
I think they're still struggling with their cap, right? The Saints, they still got.
I'm not sure. I have to look into that. Um, Graham's like, yep, and Amara St. Brown is going to have 2 touchdowns week one. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I had to look it over the cap, but I'm not sure on that one. Next game up, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Mohammed, what are your thoughts and score prediction for this game?
Woo! That's gonna be an awesome game, Eddie. I'm really gonna enjoy that.
Same 6.3 million in cap, I think.
Yeah, okay. Um, I don't know, Eddie. It's get the. I honestly think this is gonna be another close game. The Bengals, we know they're elite as far as offense, minus the O line. No defense. I think they made some improvements as far as defense. Buccaneers are the Buccaneers. I was actually kind of impressed with them last season, especially in the beginning. But same thing. It's gonna be tough, Eddie. I think the Bengals gonna win it, Eddie. As far as the score, I'm picking the Bengals 27-21.
Okay. Um, Buccaneers. Buccaneers, as Grant pointed out, they lost Levante David, one of their best linebackers, to retirement. So their defense I mean, maybe their defense takes a step back, but they did lose a big key contributor on that defense. And then on the offensive side, they lost their biggest weapon, in my opinion, in Mike Evans. He went to the San. Oh, we forgot to mention about the San Francisco 49ers. They got Mike Evans. Um, so the biggest weapon in that room has now left on the Bucks, offense. And honestly, one of their biggest key contributors on defense is also left by retirement. And so that's bad for the Buccaneers. I don't like that for the Buccaneers. I don't like the fact that they're on the road week one, going to Cincinnati to play Joe Burrow and the Bengals, which Joe Burrow should be back. And I do agree, Mohammed, this Bengals offensive line scares me, but I will give props where props are due. And the Cincinnati Bengals actually went out and got somebody for the defensive line. Yeah, of course it was a D tackle. And crap, what was his name? God, I'm having a brain fart here. They went out and got what's his name from the Giants? I forgot his name. Graham, help me out here. But they went out to get Dexter Lawrence. Thank you. They went out and got Dexter Lawrence from the Giants. You know, not a pass rusher, a defensive tackle more than to stop the run, but he can also collapse that middle of the offensive line,
Mm.
and their whatever edge rushers the Bengals do have can actually maybe get some one on ones and maybe get to the quarterback. So at least they tried to improve the defense this offseason. The Bengals did. And of course, if you got Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase, like the offense is going to score points. So I'm not picking against the Bengals here. I'm really not. The fact that the Bucks lost their top receiver, one of their best defensive guys, and then the Bengals went out and got a good defensive tackle, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins all back out there. I'm going to go with the Bengals big win here, 28-17. I think the Bengals kicked the ever living crap out of the Buccaneers. And I say 28-17, but I don't. I think the Bucks probably get 10 points like the first half, and then get like a late touchdown at the end of the game to make it 17-28 to look a little bit more respectable. So, but that's my pick on that one. Next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens heading to Indianapolis to face the Colts. Mohammed, what is your thoughts on this, and what is your score prediction?
Well, Eddie, um, I don't think the Colts have a quarterback. Let's start with that. That's gonna be a right. I mean,
Hey, you went right for the jugular there. Damn.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's what it is. Like, if he's, I don't know what's going on with him, but they have a really good running back. The Ravens are the Ravens. New coach. Um, the end of the day, I think Eddie. I think the Ravens are gonna win it. Um, the Colts probably not gonna be able to stop the Ravens offense. Lamar is probably going to be running all over the place. Um, as far as the score, I picked the Ravens winning it 30-20. So upsetting, well, beating them at home basically.
Hmm. All right, you got the Baltimore Ravens here. All right, you got Lamar Jackson. You got honestly, I don't know if any of their wide receivers. You got Derrick Henry. You got Mark Andrews. You lost Isaiah Likely to free agency. You lost your coach, Zay Flowers, our best receiver. Um,
Yeah,
and the defense, like I'm not. I don't think the Ravens defense is very good last year. At least I don't think they were like a top defense last year. They're not even middle of the pack. But that said, and with Minter being the new mind there, defensive guy, that's going to finally have some kind of coach there that has a background of defense or offense. You got a defensive background head coach, which is good. He'll fix the defense. And then with the Colts, I mean, when did Daniel Jones go down last year? Because he came back. Daniel Jones came back to the Colts. I just forgot he tore his what was his Achilles or his ACL, one of those two he tore, but I can't remember which one it was or what week it was. And he tore his Achilles. What week was that, Graham? Was that like later in the season, mid season, or early in this? I want to say it was mid to late because they were pushing for a playoff spot until he got hurt and then they fell out of contention basically. Um, but with that said, they got a good run game, the Colts do. They got a good young tight end in Warren. They got a solid offensive line. I like their defense. You got Latu, you got Sauce Gardner now. You got a couple of good linebackers. You know, um, I'm going with my second upset here. I think the Colts upset the Ravens week one.
really.
I do.
Okay.
I think they upset them. I just feel like new defensive mind in Baltimore. It's going to take them a little bit to build that defense up. Week 14, Daniel Jones is probably not going to be back for week one. Or, I mean, people are talking about Patrick Mahomes being back for week one against the Broncos, and he tore his ACL in what was it, week 15 last year. So, I mean, but I don't think the Colts are as stupid as the Chiefs are. I think that if Daniel Jones got hurt, they're probably going to keep him out if they think he's their franchise guy, I think they're going to keep him out. They'll probably keep. They paid him to stay around for another year, but they're probably going to. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they play him. I don't know. But if they're smart, they'd set him out, just like with the Chiefs would be smart. They sat him out. And it's not because I'm saying this because I'm scared of the Chiefs. It's just honestly going against the Broncos defense week one, dude. That's not going to be pretty for Mahomes. He ain't going to be able to move. Uh, but with that said, I think I'm going to go with the Colts here because they're at home. I think they're going to run all over this defense. It's going to be it's new. Like this defense is kind of new under Minter. So I think they're going to run the ball a lot and they're just going to control the clock. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I'm going to go 13-10 Colts. So
So
I
it's
think
low
Lamar Jackson.
scoring.
I think Lamar Jackson is going to do some of Lamar Jackson type stuff, but I just don't think it's going to be enough right off the bat. Week one, like I said, upsets happen all the time in week one. Next game up, the Cleveland Browns go to the Jacksonville Jaguars week one. Mohamed, what are your thoughts about this game and what's your score prediction?
Very, very interesting, Eddie. The main question is like, who's going to be the quarterback for the Browns?
From
Is
what
it
I've
Deshaun
heard, it's
Watson?
probably going to be Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun
That's what
Watson.
I've been
Okay,
hearing.
interesting. I don't think he didn't play in like what 10 years now. I mean, he hasn't brought it up. Honestly, Eddie, like seriously, like I know it's not 10 years, but it just seems like it's been so long since he actually stepped on the field, right? I mean, he was very talented when he played. Is he the same quarterback? I guess we're fixing to find out, right? But I like the Jaguars in this game, Eddie. They just seem like whatever they did last season. I know they beat us last season too. But we'll get them this year. But I think the Jaguars are more of like a complete and well coach, right? Browns got a new coach. They got a lot of talent, but are they going to get all that meshed together to come up with a decent team as far as like the quarterback, the offense, the defense? I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I pick the Jaguars to beat the Browns. As far as the score, I'll say Jaguars 27, Browns 21.
Damn. Wow, Mohamed, you're being generous giving the Browns 21 points and only allowing the Jags to score 27. Holy shit. Um, this game's going to be a freaking desecration.
You think so?
Don't get me wrong. The Jacksonville Jaguars, you got Travis Hunter coming back from a season-ending injury last year, and I think if I'm correct, Mohamed, I think they're going to try to stick him permanently on the defensive side, Travis Hunter. They're not going to be playing him both ways like last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
This is just some rumors I've heard over the last couple of months. They're
Mhm.
going to put Travis Hunter as a corner, and that's where they're going to leave him. And they got Brian Thomas Jr. on the other side. But the bad thing is like outside of Travis Hunter, if he's just strictly on the defense, I mean Josh Hines Allen, I guess. Uh, what's his name? Something Walker, defensive line. Like the Jacksonville Jaguars have dudes, but they did lose their starting running back in ETM. Now I've been hearing over the last couple of weeks that a lot of people think the Jaguars are going to take a step back this year. Like, not saying they're going to lose week one. This is not what these people are saying, but they're saying that the Jags are going to take a step back this year. That last year was basically a
Fluke.
fluke for the Jaguars. They do like Liam Cohen though. That's for sure. Tavon Walker, thank you, Graham. But yeah, this is in Jacksonville. Like, I was gonna pick the upset here earlier this offseason if Miles Garrett was still in Cleveland. The fact that he's gone, like the Cleveland Browns, like they're gonna be so unwatchable this year. It's not even funny. Like you're gonna have either Predator back there playing football, or you're gonna have Shador Sanders, who I do like. I just don't know if
Mhm.
he's had enough snaps in the NFL to be able to play. If he's gonna be good or not. I don't know. Um, I mean, you got a good running back in Judkins. Your wide receiver room. You drafted a couple. I think you drafted Boston wide receiver Boston and Concepcion. You drafted them.
Yeah,
You still got Jerry Judy, who I think is a bum. Um, they drafted, I think, an offensive lineman early in the first round. I mean, they still got Denzel Ward in the backfield. I mean, they still got some solid contributors on defense. It's just with Miles Garrett gone, like, I don't know if they're going to have much of a pass rush. And they're certainly not going to be watchable. So, yeah, I'm going with the Jaguars here. And honestly, I think this game's going to be a bit of a blowout. Like, I'm not going to say complete blowout because, again, it's week one. Teams are rusty, like you said, Mohamed,
mhm.
still trying to get back into the swing of things. But you were generous with giving like what I said, giving the Jaguars only 27 points, but I will stick at 27 myself with them. But giving the Browns 21 points, dude, you're being way too damn generous. I don't even think they're going to score 10. I think it's going to be
Wow.
like 27-9. The Jacksonville Jaguars are just going to decimate the Browns week one. So that's my thought. Next
Eddie,
up,
maybe they're. I mean, if they're gonna be as bad as you say, maybe the fact that they actually traded Garrett tells you that they know this season is just gonna be whatever, and then they're gonna be looking for a quarterback next season.
if I would give you, I mean, I know this is going to be a big leap, but I would give you 17 points, Mohammed, for the Browns if Miles Garrett was still there. And I would probably give the Jaguars like 24 if Miles Garrett was still there. So, um, next game up, this is probably going to be one of the worst games of the week, in my opinion. Oh my God. Like, I don't know if anybody outside of the cities that these teams play for is going to watch this game. You got the New York Jets going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Mohammed, what are your thoughts and what's your score prediction?
Well, I think the Jets are probably like the worst team, Eddie, in my opinion. I'm sorry. The Titans, I was very actually impressed last season. First season rookie quarterback, he Cam Ward did pretty well. I think he's gonna improve this season, Eddie. Um, like I said, I have no hope on the Jets, honestly. Like I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But as far as the score, I picked the Titans to win. Um, the Jets probably not gonna score a lot of points. So I'll say I'll say 2013
Okay.
Titans.
Jets, they're going to be a bad team this year. They're going to be god awful. They got Gene. I think they signed Geno Smith or traded for Geno Smith. Uh, I don't really. I mean, didn't they picked up Sadiq in the draft? The tight end Sadiq. They got him. They got a good tight end, but Didn't they take like a tight end last year in the draft, like a young good tight end? I can't remember who it was. I know they took one. Um, they still got Garrett Wilson. They brought back Brees Hall. Defense, I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. You know, Aaron Glenn's a defensive guy. I don't know anybody on the defense. Um, so yeah, the Jets are going to be bad this year, but I have to disagree. I think there's going to be one other team that's going to be worse than them this year, Mohamed. But the Titans, they brought in some key pieces. You know, they brought in John Franklin Myers. I think they extended what's his name? Just or not what's his name? Simmons, their defensive tackle. I forgot his first name. Mason Taylor, the Jets brought in last year. Um, they Jeffrey Simmons. I don't know why I wanted to say Justin Simmons. As I know that's not right. Uh, you know, so they got some key pieces over there. I'm going to go with the Titans win here. I think the Titans they actually have their franchise QB in Cam Ward. They actually brought in some pieces. I think they're just a better overall team. They're at home, so I'm going to go with Titans 17, the Jets 3.
Wow, come on, Eddie.
Nope, I don't trust them. Oh, it's going to get worse. Trust me. Uh, Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans. What are
Ooh,
your thoughts to this game?
that's gonna.
What are your thoughts to this game, and what's the score prediction? Damn, Graham.
What's happened? Did I miss something?
Graham, post it up, Graham. Graham's like 70-3. Damn, Graham's giving a no shot.
Um, that's gonna be a really good game, Eddie. Sorry, the Texans have a really good defense. I don't know how their quarterback is going to respond this season. I know he struggled last season. Uh, Bills got a new coach, but even though the Texans have a good defense, I still think the Bills gonna end up winning. Um, I'm picking. Okay, I'm picking the Bills to beat the Texans 28-17.
20. Okay. Buffalo Bills, of course, yeah, they fired their head coach this past offseason. You know, they brought in, well, they didn't really bring in anybody. They just promoted Joe Brady from OC to head coach, which I think is a good thing for Josh Allen. Him and Josh Allen, they get along. You know, he ran the offense well. Um, and they brought in DJ Moore, or was it DJ Moore? Yeah, DJ Moore from the Bears and gave Josh Allen. I wouldn't say he's a number one. I say he's kind of like a Cortland Sutton, like a low end one, high end two, but still a decent weapon. They still have James Cook in the backfield, who's a great running back. They still got Dawson Knox and that other tight end that they have there. The good offensive line. Their defense, Kincaid, thank you. Their defense is pretty solid. And don't get me wrong, I love the Texans defense. It's one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're scary to me even though we kicked their ass last year.
You should
Um,
do.
but I think the Bills are pissed off about last year. You know, like no Mahomes, no Chiefs, and you get beat by Bo Nix and the Broncos. Let's go, Bo. Um, so I think the Bills are going to come out and play with their hair on fire. I think they're going to beat the Texans. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're going to blow them out because I don't think you're going to blow out the Texans defense. But you're right. CJ Stroud, I don't trust him anymore. Like the last 2 years, he's been bad. He has not looked good. So I'm gonna go with the Bills win here. I'm gonna go 17-10 Buffalo. I think the Texans defense keeps this a low scoring game. Josh Allen's gonna have to be Superman, but I think he can do it. Next up, you got the Atlanta Falcons at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mohamed, what's your thoughts and score prediction to this game?
God, that's gonna be a boring game, Eddie. It's gonna be boring.
Who do you think starts, Penix or Tua?
Probably Tua. Penix is still injured, right?
I
Where's
think
he
yeah,
been?
he tore his ACL last year. God damn, Graham. Uh, 900-0. Falcons 900-0. No, yeah, he did, but I think it was earlier in the season, so he might be ready for week one, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, honestly, Eddie, with this game, it really it could go either way. Um, I think the Steelers probably end up winning it since I don't know who the Falcons quarterback gonna be. It really is not gonna matter if it's Tua or Phoenix. It's probably not gonna. I don't. Anyway, as far as the score, I'm picking the Steelers to win. 24. I'll give the Falcons. I mean, yeah, I'll pick the Steelers to win. 24. I'll give the Falcons 17 points. 24
Um,
17.
both teams fired and hired new head coaches this offseason. Well, technically the Steelers didn't fire theirs. He pretty much quit. Um, so the Steelers got Mike McCarthy as their new head coach, and then the Falcons fired Raheem Morris and they hired Kevin Stefanski from the Browns. Um, the Falcons really didn't lose a whole lot this offseason. I mean, I think they lost. Did they lose anybody? I don't think they lost any players. Not any significant players. I think one of their defensive linemen got in trouble this past summer for speeding or something, or domestic abuse or something. I can't remember. One of their defensive linemen, one of their young guys too. Um, but they have a good defense. They still got AJ Terrell back there. Caden Ellis, linebacker, they lost this offseason. I know that. I think he went and signed with the Saints or the Bucks. Uh, Maybe the Panthers. I don't forget. I think he signed with another NFC South team. Um, anyway, Jonah Ellis's brother. Yeah. Uh, but they still have Drake London. They re-signed Kyle Pitts to a long-term extension. I think they're still waiting to re-sign Bijan Robinson to a contract extension. I think you're right, Mohamed. I think Tua's probably going to start week one, but by the end of the season, I think Penix is probably going to be their starter because they got to
Yeah.
see what they have in him
Yeah.
this year at some point to see what they're going to do going into next offseason. And the Steelers, they brought in Mike McCarthy. They didn't really lose much. I don't know what they did. I know they brought back Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they lost anybody. I don't think they lost anybody or gained anybody of significant value. They're pretty much the same team coming back. But to me, this is about and an old washed up Aaron Rodgers. Like I think Aaron Rodgers is done. The guy should have just fucking retired this offseason. I don't know why the hell he came back. He played like crap last year. Um, but to me, this is a battle of the new head coaches between Mike McCarthy and Stefanski. Who's got a better chance to win this? Because I mean, the Steelers have DK Metcalf. They have Jalen Warren. They have what's their tight end's name? Graham. Sorry, man. I'm having problems remembering players' names tonight, but they got a good tight end. Um, the Falcons have a good wide receiver. They have a good running back, the best running back in the league. They have a good tight end in Pitts, Drake London receiver. They both got good defenses. They're Pat Fryermuth, yeah, he's a good tight end. Um, and both of the quarterback situations right now are to me like, they're about the same, even regardless if it's two or Penix playing. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is so old and so washed that Darnell Washington too, that big dude. So basically, the teams kind of being the same in the rosters. This to me is going to be the battle of the head coaches kind of game. And oh crap, sorry. Is that better? Let me know. Um, I'm going to go ahead and give this to Kevin Stefanski and the Falcons. I think they're going to win week one. Um, I tried to fix it. I can't figure it out, Graham. Uh, so I'm going to go with Kevin Stefanski on this. So I got the Falcons winning. I think it's going to be a low scoring game because both quarterbacks suck. Uh, I'm going to say 14-13 in favor of the Falcons.
Air
So
Fox, okay.
next up, this is the game I really do want to watch. I, Mostly because both these teams, one team traded a team a pick to get the first overall pick, and the other team with one of those first round picks they got from the team that they're playing against was able to get a first round pick that sucked because the one team sucked so bad the Bears got the first pick, and that's the Bears and Panthers. And it's going to be Caleb Williams versus Bryce Young, two number one overall picks. Bears going to the Panthers. Mohamed, what's your thoughts on this game? What's your score prediction?
Interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game, Eddie. Both teams did well last season. Um, I really don't like the Bears as a team, Eddie, for whatever reason. I anyway. Uh, but I think it's gonna be it's gonna be very close. Um, Hate to say it, but I think the Bears probably gonna get the best of the Panthers. Close, also a close game. I picked the Bears to win it 23-20.
Chicago Bears. They didn't really. I mean, they traded DJ Moore to the Bills. They lost their starting center to retirement. He retired just out of the blue. I think the guy was only like 28, 29. He retired. So they had to upgrade that. They didn't really, I don't think, lose anybody on the defensive side. I know a lot of people have been talking about their defense not being that good, which I can understand that. They weren't that great last year. And, Caleb Williams going into year three, we'll see what happens with him. Um, I mean, I like Caleb Williams. I hope the guy does good because that would make that draft class even more stronger. But going over to the Panthers, like they really did. I mean, I think they lost what's his name, the running back Rico Dowell. They lost him. I think he actually went to the Steelers. Oh crap! I think he went to the Steelers. I'm not sure. Uh, I might have to rethink my Steelers and Falcons game if he did go to the Steelers. Uh, anyway, so the Panthers linebacker Tremaine Edmonds went to the Bears lost Tremaine Edmonds to the Giants. Oh dang, that sucks. Did we do a Giants game already? No, I don't think we did. No, we haven't. Um, but anyway, yeah. So this game is pretty much the battle of the number one overall picks from back to back years. And right now, oh god, this is a hard one to predict. If I'm going to go with the Panthers. I'm going with the home team because I think they have a better defense. If because like I know the Bears defense has been talked down about. No one really trusts them. They weren't very good last year. The Panthers defense is actually solid. Graham just told me that they lost Tremaine Evans, linebacker. You know, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Panthers because they're at home, and I just not because I think Caleb Williams is or worse than Bryce Young. I just think it's going to be a battle of the defense. I think it's going to be another low scoring game. I think it's going to be 17-16 uh, Panthers. Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers going to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Mohamed, what's your thoughts and score predictions on this game?
That's a rivalry right there. Um, Obviously the Packers are the better team. The Vikings, I don't know what's going on. They just got their quarterback. I guess they. Anyway, I'm not gonna. Yeah, you're
Short
probably not
you.
gonna see exactly. He's really not gonna be able to see that much. He's a very talented quarterback. I give him that, but he just needs a very specific type of offense. You have to build around him. You have to scheme for him and all that stuff. Um, Obviously, I'm picking the Packers to win. Vikings probably going to still be trying to figure things out. Uh, as far as the score, I think the Packers will probably score 26 point, and I'll give the Vikings 13 points, if that.
Packers, I don't think they're going to have Michael Parsons because he tore his ACL late in the year last year against us, of course.
Mhm.
Didn't they lose a corner? I think did they lose Valentine, their corner? I want to say they lost the secondary, and I think it was a corner. Graham, let us know in the comments. Um, and then on the other side, you still I mean the Packers, man, they're I like them. They got some good receivers. I like Jordan Love. I like the running backs. I don't know how well this defense is going to be because after Michael Parsons went down last year, that defense was just terrible. Like they were not very good. They still made the playoffs at the seventh seed, um, but switching over to the Vikings, man, it's like who'd they lose? They didn't really lose anybody. They still got their running backs. They still got Justin Jefferson. They still got a good defense. Um, Actually, I think they did lose one part. I think they lost their safety, Harrison Smith, because he's like 37. I think he retired this offseason, if I remember right. Um, and Brian Flores is still over there running that defense, but Jalen Johnson is still with Chicago. Okay. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. This is hard. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure Kyler Murray's probably gonna be the week one starter. JJ's freaking terrible, dude. I watched every single one of his games last year and rewatched a bunch of game film this offseason. He's bad. He is not good. And honestly, I think that's on Kevin O'Connell. Like Kevin O'Connell's a good coach, but man, did he fuck up by taking JJ McCarthy? He should have took Bo Nix. I'm glad he didn't, as a Broncos fan. But damn.
Yeah.
Um, oh, Harrison Smith hasn't retired. Oh wow, I thought he did. Uh, anyway, but with that, I think it's gonna be Kyler Murray versus Jordan Love, and without Micah Parsons, probably week one. I'm gonna say the Packers get the win here. I think Jordan Love and that defense, even without Michael Parsons, is gonna be like you're gonna be going up against a midget or the worst quarterback in the NFL. So I feel like the Packers are going to take this. I know it's in Minnesota. I like Kevin O'Connell. He's a good young coach. And honestly, a lot of people are thinking this might be Kevin O'Connell's last year if he can't figure quarterback out. Uh, okay. So Yahoo Sports says Harrison Smith's retirement decision is not expected until preseason. So they might have him, they might not. I mean, he's still a good safety. He's just really old. Uh, but with that said, like I said, I'm going with the Packers, and I'm going to take the score of 21-17 Packers over the Vikings. Next up, oh, this is going to be your favorite game, Mohamed. I can't wait to hear your take on this one. You got the Miami Dolphins going to Las Vegas to face the Raiders. Mohamed, what are your thoughts on score predictions?
It's gonna be a horrible game, Eddie. Just and I think if there was a team that's probably gonna be worse than the Jets, it might be the Dolphins, Eddie. I don't know if that's
Thank
the team you
you.
were picking, but yeah, they this. Oh my God, man, the Dolphins. They're probably just
Oh,
gonna. Yeah. What?
update. Harrison Smith was cut by the Vikings.
Oh, he was
Oh, okay.
interesting. He
Because
needs
he's
to
not
just
starting something,
retire.
dude.
Almost 40. Yeah. Yeah. Almost 40. But yeah, Eddie, the Dolphins they're horrible. They know it too. They're gonna be looking for a quarterback. Um Raiders, they have some talent. I think they're gonna be better than a lot of people think. Rookie quarterback, they got Cousins. I think the Raiders gonna win, obviously. As far as the score, I'll give the Raiders 24 points, Dolphins 6 points.
Dolphins, they tore it all freaking down this year, man. Like, I think if I remember right, Mohammed, I think they have 150 something million in dead cap. After cutting Tyreek, after trading Jalen Waddle, after cutting Tua, after trading Micah Fitzpatrick, after getting rid of Bradley Chubb, like I think they're like 150 something million in dead cap. Um, the only player on that team they kept that anybody knows is Devon Achane, which I mean Malik Willis, I guess, because they signed him in free agency. But it's like, dude, if I was Malik Willis, I'd be like, hey, can we reverse my contract? I thought I'd at least have Waddle to throw to.
Yeah, and then they
And
trade
trade him
Waddle. That
off.
that was messed up, Eddie. That was messed up.
So uh, the
Yeah.
Dolphins are going to be terrible. They're going to be the worst team in the NFL this year. I think the Jets will at least get a couple of wins. I don't think the Dolphins. I would not be surprised if the Dolphins went 0-17 this year. Um, the Raiders, as much as it kills me to say this, man, they're on the come up. Like they are. They
Mhm.
got their young rookie QB. I like the way they did it too. And this is coming from a
Yeah.
Broncos fan that hates the Raiders.
Yeah.
They did it right. They went out. They got Mendoza with the first overall pick. And they brought in Kirk Cousins, a great mentor. He's not like Joe Flacco, who's like, that's not my job to mentor the young guys. Kirk Cousins is willing to do that as
Yeah.
long as he knows about it. Not like the Atlanta Falcons did, cut Kirk Cousins in and then drafted Penix, and he didn't realize until the night of the draft as he was watching it.
Yeah.
That was kind of screwed up. But the Raiders did it the right way. So Mendoza, I think, is going to become their next franchise quarterback, which is cool because I want this division to be competitive. Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, and then Fernando Mendoza. This division is going to be so much fun. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be fun. So with that, they still got Genty. They still got Brock Bowers. They went out and kind of upgraded their offensive line at center with Linderbaum from the Ravens. And on the defensive side, they brought in a couple of good corners, or I'm sorry, good linebackers. I think Jacoby Dean, and there was another one they brought in. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah,
And then they still have
Crosby.
Crosby, the freaking Broncos Terrifier, uh, and Chiefs Terrifier, which I like that one. Um, but with that said, I've been hearing a lot of rumors that Crosby still could get traded by sometimes. Oh, Quay Walker from the Packers. That was the other linebacker. Uh, I heard that it's still possible that Crosby. I heard the Cowboys are still interested. They're still trying to get Crosby away from the Raiders. But with all that said, of course, I'm pretty sure unless Cousins absolutely sucks in training camp and preseason, he's going to be your week one starter, and I think they're going to let Mendoza sit for a few years. I like their young head coach and Clint Kubiak, son of Gary Kubiak, who won the Broncos a Super Bowl. Um, I'm going out to say the score to this game is going to be 20-0. The Raiders are going to kill the Dolphins. I hate
At
to
least
say that. I hate the
I
Raiders.
gave them 6 points. It is
I'm not giving them anything. They're not going to score crap.
it's
If
gonna be a
Crosby's
shutout.
on that team,
Mhm.
they're not going to get points. And I think Kirk Cousins can probably score 20 points against this Dolphins defense who doesn't have any freaking buddy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a superstar.
So, yeah, 20-0. That's my whole score prediction on that one. The next game we got up, Mohamed, is the Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Chargers. What are your thoughts and score predictions for this?
Honestly, I hate to say it, I'm definitely gonna pick the Chargers on this game. The Cardinals have nobody, as far as I'm concerned. Chargers get their O line back, I guess. They're really gonna run the ball. They're gonna be they're gonna play well. Cardinals, not really. So as far as the score, Chargers 27, Cardinals 17.
Well, the Cardinals, they got rid of some players this year. Cardinals negative. Oh, Jesus. Graham's got the Cardinals go having a negative 11 in points, dude. Jesus. Um, you can say that about Miami. Uh, anyway, they're going to take points away from the Dolphins. Uh, Cardinals, they got rid of Kyler Murray, which I thought was good. But the problem with the quarterback position is they got Carson Beck, who they drafted this year, but they're freaking what's his name? Jacoby Brissett's holding out.
What? I didn't
How
hear
in
about that.
the hell? How in the hell are you a football team and Jacoby Brissett is holding out?
I don't blame him.
The okay, I gotta say this before I give my whole take and get into the Cardinals and whatever. The Cardinals need to be sold. They've been around since the 18 fucking hundreds, dude. They've never won a Super Bowl. They need to get sold, new owners, get rid of everybody on that damn roster and the front office, and change the name of that team and move to a different damn city. They need a whole fresh start. The Cardinals are garbage. Um, I do like some of the players on the roster, though. They do have uh, Trey McBride, honestly, in my opinion, best tight end in the league. They got a solid offensive line. They got Marvin Harrison Jr., who needs to have a breakout season this year. They got Michael Wilson, who came on good last year. On the defense, you have still Buda Baker. You got some solid linebackers. You got a couple of good corners. You got I think his name is Montez Sweat up there on the defensive line. So the Cardinals got okay players, but their quarterback position's a mess. We don't know about their new head coach they just hired. I think it's Mike. What's his name? Mike Lafleur, Matt Lafleur's brother.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know how they're going to be. The Chargers. You know how I feel about the Chargers, Mohamed. I think Jim Harbaugh, or is it John or Jim? I think it's Jim. Jim.
Jim.
Jim?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh. Got me confused too.
Jim Harbaugh. I think the Harbaugh brothers are solid coaches. I think they're good coaches. I don't think they're great or elite head coaches. Justin Herbert is a goddamn choke artist. he's fun to watch. Like he can make plays, but when it comes to the moments when you need him to, make plays, down the field, he chokes. Uh-oh, I screwed up my thing. He chokes. I mean, they're going to get their tackles back. They're going to get Omari and Hampton back. You know, they're going to get all that back. Their defense is still going to be really good, I think. But this early in the season, game one, I'm going to give it to the Chargers. I hate it. I hate saying this. Like I got the Raiders winning, and I got the Chargers winning. I think the Chargers are going to win this game 20-7. I think they win. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring because Jim Harbaugh, the Harbaugh brothers, they love running the ball and playing defense basically. Like they're not big on passing. Like I don't even know. Like I mean, you got Lad McConkey and Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson's not that great in my opinion, but so yeah, 20-7. I got the Chargers winning that game. Next up, we got the Washington Commanders going on the road to face the Philadelphia Eagles. Mohamed, what are your thoughts and score prediction on this one?
Interesting. I don't know if their quarterback is going to be back. The Commanders. I know he got hurt right towards the end, or is it in the beginning?
I think it was
Um,
midway through the season.
midway. Yeah, so I don't know if he's going to be back or not, but regardless, I think the Eagles really better anyway. So, and they're playing. They're going to the Eagles, so I definitely pick the Eagles to win. As far as the score, um, Eagles 24, Commanders 17.
Oh, okay. Jaden Daniels dislocated his elbow week 9, so he should be good to go for the start of the year. But dude, on defense, they had nothing but a bunch of old dudes over there last year. Like, and most of them left. I think Bobby Wagner. I think he
Why?
left. I
Why?
don't think he
Why,
returned.
Eddie? Why you have to say Bobby Wagner? Go ahead.
Well, because he's not there like anymore. I think they let him go. He hasn't retired there. At least I don't think he has. Von Miller left. A lot of players left.
Mhm.
Um, so the Commanders, they really need to rebuild that defense, and they only got really like one good weapon on that team on that offense, and that's Terry McLaurin, and he's I think 31 and going into this year.
Mhm.
So, and as far as the Eagles, they didn't really lose a whole lot. I think they lost AJ Brown, of course, but I think they drafted Makai Lemon. They still got Devontae Smith. They still got Saquon. They still got Goddard. They still got a good offensive line in Jalen Hurts. They still got a good defense. I think they lost a couple of players on defense. It's in Philadelphia. I'm going to give the Eagles a win here. I'm going to go 24-14 Eagles. I don't think that Jaden Daniels and McLaurin, basically the only two on that team that's going to be able to help win that game. So because their defense, I literally don't know anybody over there. Um, I just don't trust their defense. So next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys going to the New York Giants. Mohamed, what are your thoughts and predictions on this game?
Yeah, don't care for either team. Most likely the Cowboys. Um, Giants did well last season. I know their running back got hurt towards the end. Cowboys, in my opinion, as far as talent, probably better than the Giants. I think they're gonna end up beating the Giants. Cowboys 27, Giants 20.
Yeah, Cowboys, they had one of the best offenses last year. They still got Pickens. They still got C. They got a good offensive line. They got Javante Williams and Dak Prescott. They added to the defense this year. They added somebody up on the offensive line. I mean, defensive line. That's actually really good. They kind of upgraded that defense a little. So, and honestly, if the Cowboys get a middle of the pack defense or like just right around 20-15, dude, I think they can make the playoffs this year. Um, so and with that said, you got the New York Giants who have Cam Scatterboo, Jackson Dart, a tandem that Giant fans loved last year until Scatterboo got hurt. They got a good offensive line. They got hopefully Malik Neighbors coming back, by the way, but we don't know about that yet. Like I haven't really heard anything. Their defense is great. I like the Giants defense. They got a lot of good players over there. But with this being John Harbaugh's, first game as a Giants head coach, coming off or Scadden coming off an injury. Harbaugh likes to run the ball. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here too. I think the Cowboys get it done week one against the Giants because I don't know how Cam Scaboo is going to look. I don't know how Jim Harbaugh is going to look or Malik Neighbors is going to look. So I'm going to go ahead and say 24-16 Cowboys. Last up, we have our Monday night game. We got our boys in orange, Denver Broncos, going to KC to play the hobbled Kansas City Chiefs. Mohamed, what are your thoughts and score predictions to this?
Well, Eddie, I really can't wait for that game. It doesn't matter if Mahomes is playing or not. I think they're gonna play him. I think he's gonna end up playing anyway, Eddie. But of course, I picked the Broncos. Um, the Chiefs are not the who the Chiefs used to be, and add to that, their quarterback is coming off an injury. They're gonna let him play for some reason. Oh, I love that score. Um, However, Eddie, I think it's probably going to be closer than anyone thinks. Um, I'll say Broncos win it 24 to 24-20. I know you didn't like that score, but go ahead, Eddie.
Here we go. So the Broncos coming off of a terrible, most likely they're going to be pissed the fuck off game where they lost at home 10-7 in a snow game to the New England Patriots. Blech. Because Bo Nix broke his ankle in the Bills game or the Bills win. And I've been saying it all freaking offseason that the Broncos had Bo Nix. They make the Super Bowl, and I think they win it. The Chiefs. And the Broncos didn't lose hardly anybody. They lost literally freaking just John Franklin Myers. That's basically all they lost. You could say Dre Greenlaw, but no one's going to bat an eye at that because the guy missed like 9 games last year. Like, I'm not worried about that. So, with that said, the Broncos didn't really lose nothing. They added Jalen freaking Waddle to this roster to give Cortland Sutton plenty of more opportunities than all these other guys because people are going to be trying to double team Waddle all game. And then you got the Chiefs. Lost their top 2 corners in Watson and McDuffie to the Rams. Thank you, Rams. They lost Chanel, linebacker, to I can't remember where he went. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know they lost a good linebacker in Chanel. Chris Jones and this defensive line is just getting older, and they're not as dominant as they used to be, and no one's really scared of them. They're not. I mean, they weren't that great last year, and the Broncos have the best offensive line in the league, and I'm sure that's going to carry over because they're going to bring back the same 5 guys, all that continuity. Oh, to the Commanders. He went to the Commanders, so there you go. And then Casey's offensive line is average at best, in my opinion. And no, like you can get past them. Like our defensive pass rush can get through them. And are you scared of the Chiefs' weapons at all? Outside of Kenneth Walker, who are you scared of? Kelsey's washed. Rasheed Rice is a bum. Who's the other guy? Rasheed Rice and Xavier Worthy, both bums. Like no one's scared of them. They're not number ones. They're not going to beat you deep, and they're not good route runners. And the Broncos are going to decimate the Chiefs week one, regardless if Patrick Mahomes plays or not. Because if Mahomes doesn't play, you got Justin Fields. Remember what happened last year when we played Justin Fields, Mohamed?
8. Was it 8 or 9
Nine
sacks?
sacks. Nine
Yeah, it was
sacks.
terrible. It was yeah.
And I'm not worried about that at all. If Justin Fields holds on to the ball too long, and we'll just freaking obliterate him in the backfield. If it's Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be a statue. I've said this all offseason, Mohamed. If Patrick Mahomes plays week one against this Denver pass rush, I know a couple of things to be true. I know these are the things that the Chiefs are talking about right now at this very moment if Patrick Mahomes starts. One, Mahomes, get rid of the ball fast. We're going to be doing out routes. We're going to be doing swing routes. We're going to be doing screens. We're going to be doing checkdowns. We're going to be doing all this stuff to get the ball out of your hands fast so you don't take a hit. or even whatever. They're not going to want Patrick Mahomes to get hit at all week one. So they're going to be like, if they pass, Mahomes get the ball out quick. It more likely, I think it's going to be more like this the first half of the season. The Chiefs will not pass more than 20 times a game. They're going to be a very heavy run team. Like they're going to be relying solely on Kenneth Walker probably the first half of the season until Mahomes' injury is fully healed. And in that case, what do you got to do, Mohamed? Stack the box. Stack the box. Be like, no, Patrick Mahomes, you're going to sit back there, not be able to run because I guarantee you they're telling Mahomes, do not freaking run. Just if you can't find somebody and the pass rush go away, just take the damn penalty. Don't get hit and don't run to freaking screw up that knee anymore. That's probably what they're telling him. Or throw it away, something. But they're probably going to be very run dependent this year. And you stack the box and be like, Patrick, you're going to have to beat us. You're going to have to make throws downfield in order to beat us. We're going to play underneath and we're going to play up to stop the run. And the Chiefs for the first half of the season, they're not going to be very good. I've said this all season, Mohamed, all off season. If I was the Chiefs organization, I'd be like, Patrick ain't playing this year. He's not. Nope. We're going to take this year off. We're going to get a high draft pick again, and we're going to rebuild this thing the right way. Because I believe this is Andy Reid, definitely Travis Kelce's last year. And I think this is Andy Reid's last year. And I think that's the only reason why they're planning on maybe putting Mahomes out there week one because they want to try to win this year. And that's stupid.
Very stupid.
So, but I'm going with the Broncos win here. It's not even an upset. It'd be an upset that Chiefs beat us. In Arrowhead, I'm picking the Broncos. Bo Nix coming back. This offense with Jalen Waddle might take a couple of weeks getting going. I'm going to go 21-7. Broncos win by 2 touchdowns. 21-7.
27-6. Okay.
Because I think the Broncos are like, I think they're going to be mad they're going to be coming out playing like their hair on fire, but I think this is going to be more of a defensive game. Because you know how offenses are. Offenses always start off slow.
Yeah.
In the first half of the season. And Jalen Waddle, I think it's going to take some time for him to get settled in, figure out what we're doing. J.K. Dobbins coming back from an injury just like Bo Nix. Takes some time to settle in. So 21-7 is my prediction. Broncos beat the Chiefs, send their little bitch asses home crying with their tail between their legs. And Broncos taking the division this year. That's my chant. That's my saying. So, but Mohamed, any final thoughts or comments before we get out of here tonight?
I'm just excited, Eddie. Like the fact that we're talking about week one is making me excited. I feel like football is around the corner. Can't wait. As the Monday night game is gonna be very interesting, obviously. But yeah, man. I mean, football is coming, man. Coming soon.
Oh yeah, I love it. So, but that's it for us tonight, guys. We'll be back next Saturday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time to talk about NFL expansions, like I said earlier. But until then, you guys stay safe. We appreciate you guys coming in here tonight.